Welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most musty show on YouTube today. Hello, friend. You're ridiculously over. Good brother Anthony Floyer here with you for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. Joined by my elite panel as always, good old MF Michael Fletcher from the Cerebral Smat Talk. We've also got the Phenom Michael Bullock. Unfortunately, Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson will not be joining us this evening due to a commitment beyond her control. She will, however, be back with us tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smat Talk, so we'll have more on that later. But for right now, let's dive on in to this edition of Ridiculously Raw. Of course, Monday Night Raw was taped earlier this afternoon at the O2 Arena in London, England, exclusively on the USA Network. So we started it off with an in-ring segment. The big dog, Roman Reigns, getting booed out of the building like he always does. Talks about how Jinder Mahal screwed him over in that Money in the Bank qualifier last Monday night. He calls out Jinder Mahal, but then gets interrupted by General Manager Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle says, "No more opportunities for you," and Roman says, "You know what? You have to do what you have to do because you're the general manager. You have a family and all that good stuff. You need the job, but for me, I'm going to do what I have to do." Backstage brawl with Jinder Mahal. You know how much our friend Luigi PS3, you know how much she loves her backstage brawls. I'm sure she was probably freaking out during that one. And that was pretty much it. So yeah, another week of Roman being booed and another implied excuse from the broadcast team. I mean, basically what it was. I mean, it was a fine segment for what it was. I mean, I would say by default, this was the segment of the night. I mean, because this was a wrestling heavy show, which is always a good thing. And, it wasn't the greatest segment in the world, but nonetheless, it was solid for what it was. But I think the backstage brawl was a smidgen better, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So nothing really more to say about that. So I'm just going to bring in good old MF Michael Fletcher. And MF, I mean, okay segment to start, but not exactly my cup of tea.
Yeah, not my cup of tea either, and I get it. I understand why they did it. But if you really think about it, if you really heard what Kurt Angle said, it kind of was nod, wink, wink, authority shenanigans. It kind of was more Stephanie laying the law down, saying, "No, Roman, you're not getting another opportunity. You're not going to get another shot at Money in the Bank," and this is what they're going to do, and this is why. And they talk about all this stuff and the whole 9 yards and everything else. So Angle was, you could even hear it the way that he was saying it. It almost like he sounded like a robot. He didn't feel authentic. It was like, it kind of was like, I'm just following the orders. Basically, this is Stephanie's call, not my call. And, even him alluding, saying that, that I got to take emotion out of the situation and the whole 9 yards. She probably reprimanded him for not allowing Jinder Mahal the opportunity at the Money in the Bank match or a qualifying fight, which he reluctantly did later in the evening, but we'll get into that later. So, I mean, you can sense it. You feel all the stuff that's going on. Like, there's a little bit of a power struggle going on Monday Night Raw again between Stephanie and Kurt. But it's not like coming down on us. They're not forcing it down our throats like they kind of were on SmackDown Live. That was a major pet peeve that we were having a problem with at the time. Even though this time around it's a lot more nicer, a lot more it's not forced. So we'll see what happens. As far as Roman Reigns goes, obviously he was upset. He feels like, he's getting robbed every other opportunity, and he's basically trying to blame the management, saying that, oh, they're holding me back and this and that. And I'm like, you can go to that a certain amount of times, but you can't go to that well each and every week, because you're gonna start to put even the fans are gonna start calling you a crybaby over this, and that's maybe a subtle way of turning him heel. Is WWE actually thinking about doing it? I mean, he gets booed out of the building, he's whining and complaining, then he does beatdowns for no apparent reason, thinking that that's justice. I don't know, boys. And if Dee Dee Woodson would be here, I would be asking her the same thing. Are we about to see the Roman Empire turn into an evil empire? Very interesting. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, I thought the segment was okay for what it was, but like you said, not my cup of tea. I mean, and like you said, I mean, with Roman wanting a piece of Jinder Mahal and saying no, you're not getting him, and you're not getting another opportunity. And yeah, I mean, I don't think this is like Kurt Angle's call. I think this was Stephanie McMahon breathing down Kurt Angle's neck, because I'm sure there's still a little bit of bad blood going when it comes to those two after what happened at WrestleMania. And yeah, Roman took matters into his own hands. They had that backstage brawl, and yeah, I mean, could this be the start of Roman turning heel? Because I've heard rumors about them trying to turn Roman Reigns heel. So could it happen eventually? We'll just have to wait and see. So there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So let's move right along, Florio.
Oh, and we're gonna have some fun here. Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship on the line. The champion, Seth Rollins, the Kingslayer, or as I personally like to call him nowadays, the workhorse and soldier of Monday Night Raw, defending the title against his latest challenge acceptee, Kevin Owens. It was reported late last night that Owens had accepted the challenge. So here we go, Rollins and Owens renewing their rivalry from late 2016 when they were fighting over the Universal Championship when Owens held it. Now it's for the IC belt. Winner of the match in approximately 14 minutes and 55 seconds, nearly 15 minutes, and still the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, the Kingslayer, and my workhorse, Seth Rollins, MF. I bet you
they did it again.
I bet you
they did it again.
Yep, but I bet you're saying to yourself, "Damn, I wish we had him on SmackDown Live."
You know, I'm gonna say this. Do I want Seth Rollins on SmackDown Live? Absolutely, yes. Do I want the Intercontinental title on SmackDown Live? Maybe, but the thing is, we got a good workhorse of ourselves with AJ Styles. We got a good secondary champion in Jeff Hardy with the United States Heavyweight Championship. So, I mean, it's an apples to oranges type thing. It's like, I know if we take Rollins away from Monday Night Raw, that's your heart and soul. Even with SmackDown Live, our heart and soul guy is no doubt AJ Styles, the WWE champion. So don't get me wrong. Would I love to have Rollins on Team Blue? Absolutely. But again, it's an apples to oranges thing, because if the Intercontinental title comes our way, we automatically have to give up the United States Championship. And that means bye-bye Jeff Hardy. I don't know. I think I'm better with the way that it is right now. Maybe we get another shakeup or some call-ups a little bit later on. Plus, on top of that, we haven't gotten the full deck yet. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the debut of Andrade Cien Almas. So I think SmackDown will be fine. No doubt about it. As far as tonight goes, I gotta say it, fight of the night. And not only that, 3.5 to maybe 4 stars. They nailed it again. This fight was amazing. This was back and forth. It was exciting. I kind of did not like the ending, though. I don't know why. I think it kind of came abruptly. There was a fight outside the ring. He throws Rollins back in because Rollins got taken out in the process. And the minute Owens tries to climb back into the ring, kaboom! He gets nailed with the curb stomp and the 1, 2, 3. I would have liked a better way to end the fight. I think the way they ended it kind of was a little weak. I did not like the ending. That's the only nitpick I have about this fight. I love the match. I love the psychology. I love what Owens brought to the table because he looked very energized. I liked what Rollins did. He's definitely the heart and soul of Monday Night Raw. But the ending, though, kind of left a little bit left to desire. Even though it was a clean win, and yes, it was a nice win for Rollins, I would have liked a better setup. I would have liked a little something different. When he hit him with that combination, the revolutionary knee, where he got him in the set down, then if he would have done the curb stomp, that would have been a phenomenal ending. I just did not like the way this ended. That's the only nitpick I have about this fight. But other than that, tremendous fight. 3.5 to near 4 stars. Fight of the night. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5 to 4 stars as well. I mean, this was definitely a really good match. Definitely the fight of the night, no doubt about it. I mean, I could have given it the full 4, but I mean, Fletcher does make a good point. I mean, the ending, I think, was. I mean, I didn't like the ending. I mean, it was pretty much left to be desired. If I'm going to be quite honest, yeah. I mean, because without it, I would have given it the full 4. But because of that, I can only give it 3.5 to 4. So I really got nothing more to say. So Florida, it's
3 3/4 to 4. This was without a doubt the fight of the night. I mean, my man does it again. I mean, Seth Rollins. Whoa. What is there to say, guys? I mean, his streak of quality televised matches rolls on. I mean, this has been going on for the last several months now. I mean, it dates back to that epic performance he had in that gauntlet match, February. When he was in there for an hour and 5 minutes. And then, of course, at WrestleMania, that incredible triple threat match with Finn Balor and The Miz, where he won the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And then that 4-way ladder match at the Greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. That was epic. Then you throw in that very surprising match with Mojo Rawley a week ago. And now this. And of course, we can't forget about the near 5-star he had with Miz at Backlash, which was, as we agreed, the only bright spot of that event. So there he goes. I mean, Rollins does it again. I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, this is why he's the workhorse of Monday Night Raw. I mean, he delivers week in and week out, and every week we're guaranteed fight of the night with this guy. I mean, what else is there to say? It was a great back and forth match. Rollins can seemingly do no wrong these days. He's on a roll and having a lot of good to great matches and winning, and that's getting him over. So, what else is there to say? So, and then there was a big announcement that was made earlier this afternoon. They had a very special event over at Radio City Music Hall in New York City, promoting NBC Universal. The women of the WWE were there, and what happens? Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax issues a challenge to Ronda Rousey. And Ronda at first says no because she said she felt it was too soon, and there are other women who deserve the opportunity. But Nia says, I'm not worried about them. I want to face you. And then Ronda goes on to accept. So it's on. Nia Jax, Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view in Chicago. Can you imagine this, fellas? Can you imagine that the IWC capital of the world, what they're going to do when those two get in there? Whoa. Oh. That's all there is to say on that. So that was a big announcement there. And then from there, we had another Money in the Bank qualifying match, triple threat style. We had Bobby Roode squaring off against Baron Corbin and No Way Jose. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 40 seconds. And qualifying for the Money in the Bank ladder match, Bobby Roode. And Michael Bullock, as we started off with you, what does this Money in the Bank ladder match become now that the glorious one is in it?
Well, this Money in the Bank ladder match has now become absolutely glorious.
Can I get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah.
Can I get a give me a break? Jesus.
Oh, come on, Fletch. Don't be sour about it. Anyway, so, yeah. As far as getting back to the serious business with this, 2.5 to 3 stars. I thought this was a real good triple threat match. I mean, yeah, I thought the action was good for the amount of time that it did get, and yeah, Bobby Roode now qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. He joins Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and SmackDown Live's Rusev and The Miz. So yeah, this Money in the Bank ladder match for the men's side looks pretty good up to this point, guys. So, of course, we still got some more spots left to be filled, so it'll be interesting to see who gets in there. So, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. So, 2.5 to 3 is my rating. Flory, what's yours?
I agree. 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating as well. Solid, but yet forgettable match, if I'm going to be quite honest. It was a perfectly average match. Nothing wrong with it, other than it was just your basic, usual paint by numbers, triple threat formula, and there really wasn't that much fire or intensity in that one. So, but it was fine for what it was. The outcome is not surprising. I had a feeling Roode was going to go over. So, yeah. So Bobby Roode now joins Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, and Braun Strowman and Finn Balor from Monday Night Raw, and of course The Miz and Rusev from SmackDown Live. So that's all I can say there. So 2.5 to 3. So MF, how's this men's Money in the Bank ladder match looking with the glorious one now in it?
It's shaping up to be a very good one. It's shaping up to be a very strong Money in the Bank. I think I definitely am very impressed with the way that it happened. Obviously Bobby Roode is a good wrestler and everything else. What I just did, that's kind of me being that cerebral viper commentator from Monday Night Raw, guys. So no, there's no ill will or no animosity between me and Bobby Roode. I actually loved him. I loved him having him on SmackDown Live. I'm a little teed that he went to Monday Night Raw, but it was good, solid fight. But like Anthony said, it wasn't nothing spectacular. It was a typical three-way match that we've seen in the past, so it wasn't anything incredible about it, but nice victory. Congratulations, Bobby Roode. Welcome to the Money in the Bank ladder match, your first ever. So nothing more to say. Anthony Boyer, what's yours?
And we move on now to, well, of course, something that we're used to here on Ridiculously Raw, Cutout, and Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are now known as the B team, and the B stands for best. Huh. highly debatable. But they went up against Breezango and the B team.
Beyond debatable.
Yes. B team wins the match in 3 minutes and 45 seconds. I will give this 1.5 stars for the rating. I mean, it was certainly a match that happened. And I suppose it was a nice way to follow up Breezango's big upset over the bar a few weeks ago. So we're just going to move on to a more serious match here. 6-woman tag team matchup. Natalya, Sasha Banks, and Ember Moon squaring off against the Riot Squad. Winners of the match in 11 minutes and 10 seconds. The babyface team actually picks up the win. It was Sasha, Natalya, and Ember Moon who pick up the win. Natalya with the sharpshooter on Liv Morgan for the tap-out victory. Another 2.5 to 3. I mean, this was a solid match that seemed designed to give Natalya a win and to fill television time in a much better way than that trifle unnecessary filler that we get week in and week out. So finishing moments were fun, and it was another solid match overall. So no complaints here. Nice win for Natty. I mean, it's her first big win since coming over to Raw from SmackDown Live. So hopefully bigger and better things are on the horizon for her. So 2.5 to 3. That's the best I can go. So MF, your thoughts on the 6-woman?
2.25 to 2.5. I actually kind of disagree with you on it, Anthony. Only to the point that it to me, I think it was 2.25 to 2.5. Solid fight, good match. Natalya gets her first win on Monday Night Raw, which is awesome. But I wonder what her standing's gonna be. You know, with everything that's going on now. Are they trying to groom her to be a bigger star on Monday Night Raw, or what are they doing with her? She's kind of right now, because of her friendship with Ronda, you're thinking, okay, maybe sometime down the line she's gonna turn on Ronda or something like that. But we don't know what's gonna happen, because this Ronda Rousey thing with Nia Jax now has taken a whole new level and story and the whole 9 yards. So we get after that. So solid fight, good match. Congratulations to Natalya, Ember Moon, and to Sasha Banks, especially for Ember, who's definitely needs some momentum going into Money in the Bank. Sasha, I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen with her yet, because you don't know what that storyline is going to be. But, of course, Natalya winning tonight, definitely a momentum for her as well. So we'll wait and see what happens. It's all kind of – it's still fluent, let's say that. So 2.25 to 2.5, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
I'm going to go with Anthony's rating. I'm going to give it 2.5 to 3. I thought it was another I thought it was a solid 6-woman tag team match. With the win here, what does this mean for of course, for Ember Moon? It gives her momentum going into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. Sasha, we don't know what's going on with her, and then Natalya, well, who knows what's up with her? So. Yeah, there's really nothing else needs to be said, so let's just move right along for you.
And we move on to our next cutout here. Raw Tag Team Champions, Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt going up against the Revival. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt win the match, 4 minutes, 42 seconds. 2-star match. Another okay match as the champions continue to roll, while the Revival continue to flounder on the main roster, which for the life of me, I still cannot get. Here's a couple of guys who are multi-time NXT Tag Team Champions and were one of the most successful teams in NXT history, and yet, any more words to Derek Ferreira, they're a part of that burial club. So, damn shame, too, because those guys once upon a time were fun to watch, and yeah, not anymore. Say yeah, say no. That's all I can say there. So, damn shame. But hey, Hardy and Wyatt get the win. So that means green beans and squished fish patties on a bun for everyone, as always. So,
And one other thing, Florio, there was a moment in the fight, and if we were doing a 3-man commentary, like I know you and Michael Bullock now do the Raw chats because I kind of stepped into the backstage area because of my work commitments, but I was able to watch Monday Night Raw. I'm telling you right now, there was one move where I think it was Dash who does a nip up, and Matt Hardy's basically like, I marvel at your athletic athleticness, athleticism. I am flabbergasted. That was wonderful. And he had basically the whole crowd give him a standing ovation. I would have gone cerebral Viper mode on you guys. I would have been like, why like, what is this idiot Matt Hardy doing? Applauding him for a nip up. I would have done something cerebral Viper. You know.
Or Corey Graves like.
Oh yeah.
But nonetheless, we just move on there. So, and then we move on to another cutout here. This in-ring segment with Sami Zayn going on Bobby Lashley in the whole 9 yards. And he's actually inviting Bobby Lashley's sisters to appear on Raw next week to help him expose the real Bobby Lashley. Who cares? That's all I can say on that. Who cares? We're just going to move forward on that. Yeah, that's something that a lame duck man would do. So, with all that being said, let's move on to more relevant stuff here. Another triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match, this time for the women. We had Bayley squaring off against Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Winner of the match in 9 minutes and 5 seconds and qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And since Didi Woodson is not here, I can actually get away with this. It's goddess time. Alexa Bliss wins the match, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. I believe it's MF who starts this one off, if I'm not mistaken. So if I am correct on that, MF.
You are correct.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure on that. Alexa Bliss, 9 minutes and 5 seconds. And we got a stacked women's Money in the Bank match. We got Ember Moon. We got the Queen. And now we can add the Goddess. Oh, boy, this thing's shaping up.
This thing is looking strong, guys. This is one of the... I'm going to tell you, last year's Money in the Bank was historic because, it was only SmackDown Live. This time around, you got some really good talent this time around on the Raw and SmackDown side that if this is booked right, this could be an epic Money in the Bank ladder match, to say the very least. I hope that they do it right. I hope they do justice. I know there's going to be that concern about women taking ladder bumps in the match, even though some of the women did take the bumps in last year's Money in the Bank ladder match. In the pay-per-view fight, they took a lot of bumps, not in the second go around when it was on SmackDown Live. They kind of were more, their bumps were in the ring, but they were nowhere near the ladders. Where in the pay-per-view, you saw some women actually getting thrown on the ladders, physically getting thrown on the ladders. So we'll see what they do this year. The danger is definitely there more than ever before. And you got Ember Moon, you got Charlotte Flair. I think those two definitely were odds-on favorites. But now you just added 5 feet of fury. You just added the goddess of WWE, Alexa Bliss. Of course, they have Ember Moon known as the War Goddess. The Corey Graves dubbed her the War Goddess, which I know probably drew the ire of Didi Woodson on both fronts because A, she probably respects Ember Moon like her athletic ability and everything else, but she probably is going at Graves saying, "Hey, Corey, did you really have to call her the War Goddess? It's one thing to call Alexa the goddess, but now you gotta call her the war goddess. Come on, enough with it. Enough with it. But I mean, so far we are not fully done yet. We've still got how many spots left? About 4 or 5 for the women.
Five.
So
Yeah, five.
So 5 spots left. Who else can you add? I mean, you could. I'm going to tell you right now, if Asuka gets thrown into this fight, look out. Now you got yourself possibly. You will elevate this fight to quite frankly become the greatest Money in the Bank women's ladder match ever. Because then with Ember Moon, with Alexa Bliss, with Charlotte Flair, if Asuka finds her way in this fight, then you just try to nail the final 4 spots right then and there, and try to fill that gaps on the final 4. Oh my God, is all I can say. That is going to be absolutely insane how could break out. So for me, unbelievable situation. Congratulations to Alexa Bliss for winning. About a 2.5 star fight, no doubt about it. I don't think the outcome was inevitable. Honestly, Mickie James, I'm not really high on right now. I think she kind of is more for the veterans. And Bayley, I really thought Bayley had a chance, but no, they decided to go with Alexa. For me, the right decision. Alexa's more worthy than the 2 women that she was up against. Sorry, just my personal thoughts, but when you're a former women's champion and as decorated and as successful as Alexa was, I don't see anybody else who is worthy enough of the spot. So for me, this was a no-brainer. Charlotte, Ember, Alexa, yes, yes, yes. That's all I say about that. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Bullock, are you with us? I guess we lost him. So I'm going to give it 2 to 2.5 for my rating. Decent match, with the heels working together against Bayley for the most part, but at the same time, it was another tired triple threat with no real sense of urgency, excitement, or Shakespearean drama. I mean, it was okay at best. So that's really all I can say there. So 2 to 2.5. That's all I can say on this. So we move on now to the next matchup, and what a matchup we have here. This is a fun match here. Braun Strowman and Finn Balor teaming up against Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And the winners of the match in 12 minutes and 25 seconds, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler with a little move there on it was a distraction, and Balor got taken down, and Ziggler picked up the scraps, and McIntyre and Ziggler get the win in 12 minutes and 25 seconds. This, to me, was the second best fight of the night. I'm giving this a solid 3 to 3.25 stars. I mean, this was a match that neither team should not have really lost, but Ziggler especially, and McIntyre needed the win much more. And it had a few fun moments. It had a lot of fun moments. Wow, I mean, that trophy. Braun Strowman runs over Drew McIntyre to the point where the trophy fell over. Yeah, and the trophy broke, and a fan held up a part of it. But nonetheless, the match was fun in that it was a fresh matchup, and they were wise not to give away too much of Strowman and McIntyre, which I believe can be a money fight down the road after they get Drew McIntyre away from Dolph Ziggler, apparently. So So we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. So so for me, this was 3 to 3.25 stars, and for me, this was the second best fight of the night on Monday Night Raw, hands down. So MF, I mean, what a fresh matchup here. Ziggler and McIntyre against Strowman and Balor. If it wasn't for that Intercontinental matchup, this would have been the fight of the night. What a match.
And you know, I have to agree. I thought this was a fresh fight. This was a great match. 3.25 stars is I'll give that. The thing is that when I first saw this lineup, I'm like, why Balor and Strowman together, and why are you giving them to McIntyre and Ziggler? Because I know they're trying to build McIntyre and Ziggler to be really big time threats, and I kind of thought, I was like, this is a bad match, like a bad match on paper. This is not going to work. But once you saw the action and everything else, I was pleasantly surprised. And with the bodywork of everything that went down, this was an amazing battle, an amazing fight. And yeah, I totally agree with what you just said, Anthony. This was definitely a great sleeper fight of the night. Braun Strowman, looking like the monster that he was, did a drive-by, basically crushed McIntyre right into the greatest Royal Rumble trophy, and yeah, the trophy toppled over. Basically, one part of the sword and one of the swords actually from the trophy fell out and hit the deck. So. And yeah, that fan was holding basically the top part of it because it was leaning up against the wall. And if that guy probably let go, the whole trophy would have gone over. So they were able to at least preserve some of the trophy. I mean, the top part, and basically once you can insert the swords back into the main piece of the trophy, then the trophy will be fine. It's not like it's not completely destroyed. It just toppled over. So, but it was a cool moment. Again, a lot of people are barking about where's the belt? Where's the belt? Unfortunately, I think that belt was a one-off. I don't think we're ever going to see that beautiful greatest Royal Rumble championship belt ever again, unless they do another greatest Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia next year. But well, that's a story for another day. But this was an amazing match. This was an amazing thing. Awesome fight. Ziggler gets a big win. McIntyre looked strong. Strowman looked great. Finn looked all right. So there wasn't really no losers in this fight. It's just that, you know, everybody played their part and everybody came out a lot more better than they were about, you know, going into this match. Like I said, I wasn't like, I was a little fearful on paper when they announced this fight earlier in the evening, but once the fight happened, I was pleasantly surprised and very impressed. So well done by everybody involved. Anthony, I guess we'll move on. Oh, no, Bullock is back. All right, cool. So right. Florio, you gotta catch him up.
Yes, indeed. All right, Bullock, let me see.
Was it the women's Money in the Bank match?
Yeah, Alexa Bliss over Bayley and Mickie James in 9 minutes and 5 seconds.
Yeah, that was about another 2.5 to 3 star match there. And as far as this goes, I'm going to give it about 3.25 stars. I mean, I thought this was a really good tag team match, and and a nice victory for Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. I mean, it seems like WWE is really high on them as a tag team, and who knows, maybe somewhere down the line, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler could maybe be the next in line to challenge Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy for the Raw tag team titles. I mean, it's a possibility, but we'll just have to wait and see down the line. So there's really nothing more that needs to be said, so let's just move on for you.
And we move on to the main event of the evening here on this Monday Night Raw this evening. Another triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match. Bobby Lashley versus Elias. And originally it was supposed to be Jinder Mahal. But after Roman Reigns took Jinder Mahal out, he gets replaced by Kevin Owens, thanks to Stephanie McMahon interjecting herself there. But nonetheless, Owens, Elias, and Lashley, winner of the match, in approximately 13 minutes. 13 minutes and 1 second. Kevin Owens wins the match. Kevin Owens now qualifies for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So I believe who starts off here? Is it MF or is it Bullock who starts this one off? I know it's not me.
I think it's me.
Yeah, I believe it is you, Bullock. I just wanted to be sure on that. All right, Bullock. Kevin Owens qualifies for the Money in the Bank match over Lashley and Elias with a little help from Sami Zayn. But nonetheless, third best fight of the night for me.
Yeah, it was the third best fight of the night. I'm going to give it about 3 to 3 1/4. It was a good match here. I mean, Sammy coming out and interfering, costing Bobby Lashley a chance to win the Money in the Bank. I mean, I thought took a little bit away from it, but overall, I mean, it was a good match for what it was. And so, yeah, once again, the field, I mean, well, the field for the Raw side of the Money in the Bank ladder match is all set. Now we just gotta find out who are gonna be the final two for SmackDown Live. Who knows? We could find out come tomorrow night. But all in all, I thought it looks good, and I think it continues to, with Sami Zayn interfering, it continues the rivalry with Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley, and of course with Sami Zayn going to expose Bobby Lashley next week by bringing his sister. But both you and I, you know how we feel for it. Like we could give two, what's about it. So yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. Let's just move on to you, Florio.
Solid 3 stars is my rating for this main event. Good main event. Everybody got some time to shine. And Kevin picks up the win to sneak into Money in the Bank with help from Sami Zayn. And Kevin Owens not having the back of Sami Zayn in last week's main event meant nothing, but I want to believe that WWE put Bobby Lashley in the ring with two popular heels because they wanted him to be booed, because I guess maybe they're going to intend to turn him heel down the road. I don't know if that's actually the plan, but I really want to believe it is, since Bobby Lashley, I think, in my opinion, is so much better as a heel. I mean, look what he did in TNA, for goodness sakes. The Walking Armageddon. I mean, we all know how awesome he was there. And right now, this brand needs strong heels. And, we'll have to wait and see how that goes down. But nonetheless, solid 3 stars. This, to me, was the third best fight of the night. So nothing more to say for me, except the Money in the Bank match on the men's side taking shape. I mean, we got our 4 guys for Raw. We got Kevin Owens, we got Braun Strowman, we got Finn Balor, and we got Bobby Roode. Now, that's a fearsome foursome when it comes to Monday Night Raw, whereas SmackDown Live only has The Miz and Rusev. We'll see who they decide to add, which 2 men they decide to add to that mix. And we'll see who the 4 end up representing SmackDown Live, and we'll see if that excites MF at all. But I'm very pleased with I'm for the most part pleased on my side. I mean, Strowman, Balor, Roode, Owens. Surprisingly, no Roman. That's all I can say on that. Maybe because I think they're gonna do Roman and Jinder at the paper at Money in the Bank in a 1-on-1. That's probably what they're gonna do. So, oh boy, that Chicago crowd's gonna poo all over that, as MF would say. So, nothing more to say here. 3 stars, third best fight of the night. I'm pleased with the 4 men for Raw for Money in the Bank. Hopefully, one of them bring it home. So, bring home that green and yellow briefcase. So MF, how do you like our 4 guys for Raw?
Not bad, not bad. I'm definitely impressed with the 4 that you guys got, no doubt about that. Um, yeah, I'm a little surprised that it was him. I actually was rooting for Elias. Actually, I thought this would have been Elias's moment. A little peeved that it's not him. Because it's Owens, I'm a little concerned that maybe Authority Shenanigans rules the roost here, or they're going to try to push Owens to the Money in the Bank, which would be a horrible idea, especially for WWE standards. But, we'll wait and see what happens. But, I mean, you got nothing bad going into Monday, with Monday Night Raw. Your 4 are strong and powerful. With Braun Strowman leading the way, you got Bobby Roode, you got Kevin Owens right now. For SmackDown Live, there's only just The Miz. So The Miz was the first guy to get in. So we'll see how the others stack up.
Don't forget Rusev.
Well, yeah, Rusev. Rusev is nice. That was a nice fit for him as well. So, I mean, we just got to wait and see. It looks like the final 2 spots will be filled tomorrow night. SmackDown Live will fill the final 2. It looks like we'll wait and see who they decide to pull. I mean, we got some of the stronger guys on SmackDown Live going in. I mean, I like The Miz. I like Rusev. I think everybody loves Rusev. I mean, come on. But, who do you put? Does Joe get in it? Is Samoa Joe the next to get in? Is he one of the worthy ones? Is Randy Orton worthy enough for Money in the Bank? I don't know. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens, because I think whoever SmackDown gets thrown in there, it's gonna be a tough tour. It's gonna be a tough tour because of the fact that you don't know what's gonna happen, and plus with the fear of anything, with the Money in the Bank, it can go a number of directions. So, I mean, whoever gets it gets a golden ticket. 16 out of 19 has one who's won Money in the Bank has gone on to win the title. So, I mean, like we said, only 3 have failed. John Cena, Damian Sandow, and most notably, Baron Corbin. Oh, by the way, me and Michael Bullock were there the night Corbin failed the Money in the Bank cash-in. So, I mean, we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. It's going to be interesting, but solid fight, 3 stars, third best fight of the night, like you said, Anthony, and it's on to overall review.
Indeed it is. So I started off. I'm gonna give I know a lot of the reviewers are poo-pooing all over it, but you know me, I'm not gonna poo-poo all over this. I thought this was a very good Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm giving this 7 to 7.5. I mean, 3 quality matches, headlined by the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship match with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Clear fight of the night. That to me was a solid 4-star match. That was an amazing match, and I think it was a lot better than their Universal match, than all their Universal matches combined from late 2016. That's all I can say on that. That one was far better. No shenanigans, no nonsense. A much more entertaining bout, no doubt about it. Second best fight, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler over Braun Strowman and Finn Balor. 3 to 3.25 stars on that one. And then rounding out the top 3 in the main event with Kevin Owens, Elias, and Bobby Lashley. Solid 3 there. And then you had some other solid matches as well. I mean, that 6-woman tag was a solid match where Natalya, Sasha, and Ember knocked off the Riot Squad. And then you had that other women's match, which I thought was just as solid, with Alexa Bliss over Bayley and Mickie James to qualify for the women's Money in the Bank. And then, of course, that other Money in the Bank match with Bobby Roode going over Baron Corbin and No Way Jose. So, yeah, I mean, all those matches were good. We only had like 2 or 3 cutouts. I mean, we had 2 cutout matches, and that awful Sami Zayn segment. So, and then the opening segment was okay, not overly great, but other than those couple of nitpicks, I mean, I thought this was a very solid edition of Monday Night Raw, and now let's see what SmackDown Live has in store tomorrow night. We already know Carmella's going to have her Royal Celebration, and they also promoted something with AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a match between the two. I don't know if it's going to be a title match on SmackDown Live. If that is, oh boy, that's going to shoot the ratings right up, without a doubt, if they do that. I heard that they added Styles and Nakamura to the Money in the Bank card. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be a contract.
I think it might be a contract signing, or it actually might be an announcement of a possible special stipulation for that championship fight, because just to let you know, they did ask a poll just recently from the WWE Universe, not specifically saying what the match was going to be, but from what I'm hearing is that it could be, now don't quote me on this, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles for the WWE Championship in Last Man Standing.
But who's to say that might not have a clear winner too? They could do another dusty finish,
I kind of hope they don't, because I think this is at the point where there needs to be a resolution. I mean, we had that dusty finish once. I hope they don't go with the dusty finish on this one again, because, well, yeah. I mean,
Saudi Arabia, Greatest Royal Rumble, that double count out, and then of course that even more ridiculous dusty finish at Backlash. So
where both men hit the low blow and neither man got up at the count of 10. I mean, I hope that doesn't come down to it. I hope we have a clear-cut winner, because honestly, man, with the roster that SmackDown has right now, they gotta do something different. I would love to see him and Joe, maybe Daniel Bryan, get a shot at the WWE title against AJ Styles. There's so many good matches coming up, and who knows?
And I think Joe would be next, because remember that little back and forth they had.
Yeah,
I think it was a couple of weeks ago. I think
it was a couple of weeks ago. It was actually 2 weeks ago. But not only that, guys, but there's also another guy who I know a lot of people is going to be like, "Oh, too soon." But I got that name in my head again. El Idolo, Andrade Cien Almas. Wow. Come on, I mean, he deserves an opportunity.
Could you imagine the kind of match him and AJ could have?
Oh my God, that could be fight of the year, guys. Because I mean, look at the match he had with Johnny Gargano and how epic that fight was in NXT Takeover Philly. And
both of the two matches.
It was a 5-star classic. It was, and that's what raised Andrade's stock. That's why we were begging WWE to bring him to the main roster, and why I was pulling wicked hard, especially anybody else. Florio didn't care, but I wanted Andrade seen on SmackDown Live.
The thing is, Fletch. Me and Florio, we thought that he would fit good on SmackDown Live.
I agreed. I would have loved to have him on Raw, especially Zelina Vega, and I could have really stuck it to you and had a lot of fun with that. But no, but that's only if he had gone to Raw. But he didn't. He went to SmackDown Live.
But I think him going to SmackDown Live fits him perfectly.
Absolutely, I agree. Fits him like a glove. So we'll find out what happens. But nonetheless,
and we're gonna find out tomorrow night.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow night. Well, we'll find out.
Well, tomorrow afternoon, because the spoilers will probably be out around.
Well, tomorrow night when we actually watch it on TV.
Probably around
Yeah.
5 or 6, right around 5 or 6 o'clock.
Around 6 o'clock is probably where they'll have the spoilers. 6 p.m. because I think that was around the same time. Well, I think they said 6 or 7 around for Raw today. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
5 hour
around.
difference.
Yeah, it's a 5 hour difference. They're 5 hours ahead, so
Yeah.
it'll be around 3 Eastern when the taping goes down, and the full spoiler should be available
So,
probably around 6 or 6:30. Because remember,
yep.
SmackDown's a 2 hour spoiler, so and we're gonna get 205 live spoilers as well, and I'll be all over those. So
Oh, of course.
stay here for me. So 7.5. That's my rating for Monday Night Raw. Solid show. All right, SmackDown Live. Let's do what you guys have in store tomorrow night at the O2. So 7 to 7.5. MF. We raised the bar this week. Let's see if you can exceed it or set it even higher.
Well, the thing is that I'm very optimistic about SmackDown Live because they've already announced Andrade Cien Almas will make his SmackDown debut. Obviously, they're gonna have the Mela celebration, so we know Carmella's definitely gonna have something there next, tomorrow. And then, of course, there's the big announcement about AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, and the rumor of a possible last man standing for the WWE Championship at Money in the Bank. Plus, on top of that, you gotta believe that they've already announced the New Day versus the Bar, and the winner of that fight is gonna get the 7th spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, which we will not know who that person will be just yet because of the fact that whoever the winning team is in a tag team fight, they get to choose one member of the team. So that means if the New Day wins, either Kofi, Biggie, or Xavier, they're gonna probably have to flip pancakes, or they're gonna have to do a drawing, like they did with the mixed match challenge, and whoever's name on the flap jacket is, you're going to Money in the Bank. Or if it's the Bar, then Cesaro and Sheamus is going to have to decide who gets the spot. But only one man will get the golden ticket, and then that means there's one spot left. How do you determine that final spot? And who becomes the 8th man? Then you have to figure that out at that point. But it sounds like it's going to be 4 Raw, 4 SmackDown guys, and that will complete at least the men's side of the Money in the Bank. And then for the women, you got to believe they have to at least do some kind of match to at least prolong or to extend the lineup, at least on their end, because like you said, we only got 3 names as of right now. And, we still got a couple of weeks away. So maybe you want to push a little more and try to get a couple of other names in here. So we'll wait and see what happens there. So this is going to get very interesting. 7 out of 10, no doubt about it. But SmackDown Live's got a pretty loaded show coming. It's just, can we deliver? The last couple of weeks we've done good. We just got to keep that momentum going. And plus, it's in England. It's Paige's hometown. This is Paige's turf. She's going to get a hero's welcome from the fans in London. I can't wait. I think we're going to have a hot show like we just had tonight on Monday Night Raw. So 7 out of 10, Mike Bullock, it's all yours.
Yeah, I agree. It's a 7 out of 10 for me as well. I thought this was a good show from England tonight. Basically, there were some of the things I did like. So yeah, definitely a good solid show. And SmackDown Live. They certainly got a loaded docket tomorrow night. And we mentioned one of them, Andrade Cien Almas and Zelina Vega make their debut on SmackDown Live. What do they have in store? We're just going to have to wait and find out. The Bar and New Day go at it to see who will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match on the men's side. So, yeah, a lot of things going down tomorrow night. or we'll know the results tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, so I'm itching to see how SmackDown Live responds. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. So Florio, it's time to get to your Tony steak.
Before I do that, I found that poll that MF was talking about when it comes to Styles and Nakamura. Um, Last Man Standing leads with only 33% of the vote. Right behind with 32%, an Iron Man match. Extreme Rules, 18%. Ladder match, 12%. And with a mere 5%, a steel cage match. So, but we'll see what happens. So, we'll probably find out tomorrow night on SmackDown Live or when the spoilers come out, whatever comes first. So with that being said, let's move on to I don't know what that was. Oh, that must have been an audio thing for me. Oh, there's a pop up. Okay. I don't know what happened there. All right. Let's get into 205 Live now. Tag team match started it off. D. Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher against Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik. Metalik and Dorado win it in about 8 minutes. Well, just north of 8 minutes at 7:50. 2 3/4 stars. A pretty good opener with the Luchas picking up another win and remaining the dominant tag team on 205 Live. And then Tony Nese squashed some Hammernager named Keith Clayball in 3 minutes. Fine squash to get Nese back on track. No rating to a dud there. And then main event, what a match this was. This goes back to the Cruiserweight tournament prior to WrestleMania. I believe this was the semifinal match, a rematch of the semifinal bout. Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali. This time, Buddy Murphy wins it 15 minutes, 45 seconds. Fight of the night, 3.5 stars. This was a very good main event. It started slow, but they slowly but surely played up the intensity to get it to another level. I love the callbacks to the tournament bout as Ali went to hit the 05 4 on the arm, which led to his win in that bout, only for Murphy to show he was too smart for it this time around. And Murphy keeps rolling as the undisputed #1 contender, beating the champion's friend as well as the guy who beat him in the tournament, with wins over 3 former champions on top of that. The build and elevation of Buddy Murphy as a legit contender has been really well done. So, nothing more to say here. 7 out of 10. Another good show. They've settled into their formula. They've built Buddy Murphy as a monster challenger. Continue the rise of the Lucha House Party. Got Nese. They got Tony Nese back on track, and they also set an interesting show for next week with the announcement that the UK stars are going to be appearing. So, oh boy, that's going to be hella fun. So, 7 out of 10 for the 205 Live. So, now let's move on to Impact Wrestling, and let's see what they have in store for us this week. They had a video package about Sami Callihan with a savage assault on Don Callis, Josh Matthews' broadcast partner. You remember Don Callis was the Jackal in the WWE. You remember him with the Truth Commission. That's who that is, if you're wondering who Don Callis is. He was also known as Cyrus over in ECW. MF could tell you stories on days about that, but we don't have that kind of time. So that's what happened there. We started it off with a tag team match. DJ Z and Andrew Everett against LAX. DJ Z and Andrew Everett win the match, 8 minutes and 40 seconds. 3 stars. I love the idea of DJ Z and Everett as a tag team. They're 2 guys that need to be used more. Good and fun opener with the new team picking up a strong win as LAX continues to fail in Konan's absence. And then we had Rohit Raju against Grado. Grado wins it in 5 minutes and 35 seconds. A 1.5 star match. Not a very good match at all. Grado is so limited. He is a limited one-note performer, and Raju still does not feel ready for television. The only good thing about Grado right now is he's got Katie Lee. You remember Katie Lee Burchill from the WWE days? He's got her in his corner.
Most notably, Winter from TNA days too. Yeah, that's that's very interesting, Florio, to say the very least.
Isn't it? I mean, a loser like Grado to have someone as amazing and stunning as she's known as Katarina.
Katarina.
Yeah, we best know her as Katie Lee Burchill from her days in the WWE. And wow.
Yeah, I mean, Grado's a lucky son of a gun, man. First he had
Laurel.
Oh, Laurel Van Ness, and now he's got Katarina, man. I mean, what the heck? How the heck did this guy get these stunning beauties, man? How the heck does he do it? I'll never understand it. Never understand it. But that's wrestling for you.
If only I could learn his secret.
You and me both, bro. You and me both.
And Bullock's all set. So, anywho, let's move on. Number one contenders match, X Division. This was another Lucha Libre Styles rules match here. Aerostar, Taiji Ishimori, El Hijo del Fantasma, and Drago. Fantasma. He picks up the win in 16 minutes and 43 seconds. Another 3-star match. It was a good match. It was fun and they worked hard, but the only thing is it lacked the intensity and the fluidity of that unbelievable 6-man the week before. But part of that was the fact that Aerostar was clearly banged up and he slowed here. It was too disjointed to be anything more than good and fun. But El Hijo del Fantasma, the new number one contender for the X Division Championship, he's going to go up against Matt Sydal in a couple of weeks. So that's going to be interesting. Footage of Moose and Kongo Kong from House of Hardcore. Nothing to get into there. Pro Wrestling Noah, a match with Brian Cage and Takashi Sugiura. A match that was filmed in June of 2017. We're just gonna move on here. Main event of the evening: Impact World Championship on the line. Pentagon Jr. defending against Eli Drake. Pentagon Jr. still the champ. He wins it in 6 minutes and 52 seconds. 2.5 stars. It was a perfectly solid but criminally short match, and it felt like a waste of Drake's title shot, quite honestly. So this was 6.25 to 6.5. I mean, it was a solid show that had some good wrestling, solid angle advancement, and some good setup for the next show, which is always appreciated. Far from a bad show, but it was a downgrade from the strong show that I talked about last week. So coming up on this edition, we're going to have the Cult of Lee going up against LAX. Kongo Kong against Grado. DJ Z and Andrew Everett against Eli Drake and Scott Steiner. World Tag Team Championships are going to be on the line. We're going to have the in-ring debut of Tessa Blanchard. Remember Tessa Blanchard, the daughter of Tully Blanchard of the Four Horsemen and Brainbusters fame. And then in the main event, interesting main event, tag team matchup, World Heavyweight Champion Pentagon Jr. and El Hijo del Fantasma. They're going to go up against Austin Aries and Matt Sydal. Oh boy, that's a hell of fun main event right there. So yeah, you don't want to miss this Thursday night on Pop Television. So that's at 8 Eastern. So that's it. Ridiculously Raw in the books for this week. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. So MF, come on back in. Let's set the table for Cerebral Smack Talk tomorrow night.
Cerebral Smack Talk tomorrow night, and we are talking about SmackDown Live from the O2 Arena in London, England. So we got that, and then of course my final breakdown of RWA Dynasty that's actually going down this weekend live from the Chop Shop in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and I also got some SEF news. A big show went down last week. We had a big show, Anarchy, and I will set the table for their Wednesday night show called War. Big show coming up on that night as well. So until then, it's going to be 10:30 Eastern on Braves Fan 95. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, take it home.
All right, we'll do MF. So there you have it. 10:30 tomorrow night, Cerebral Smack Talk. MF, myself, Dede Woodson. We'll see about Bullock. We don't, because usually Bullock's busy on Tuesday, but we'll see what happens. So that'll be Tuesday. And then Friday night, we got Strictly Sports. We have the docket. We'll be paying our respects to Chuck Knox. Chuck Knox recently passed away. We'll pay our respects to him. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but this is going to be a hard time show, I'm afraid. Not looking forward to this one, really. Matt Patricia charged with sexual assault. 2 firings in the NBA. Stan Van Gundy and Dwayne Casey both getting fired. A little bit of a lighter note, UFC moving to ESPN Plus in 2019. Matt Harvey traded to the Cincinnati Reds. And then we'll have our newest installment of the Major League Baseball Power Rankings. So that'll be on Friday. And then, of course, next Monday night, we got Ridiculously Raw. Raw will be in Albany, New York next week. So hopefully we can get another solid show. So that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on his channel, Raceman 95. It's your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Floyo here. For Griddle MF, Michael Fletcher. For the Phenom, Michael Bullock. And in spirit, the Twisted Angel, Didi Woodson. And the Hardcore Pipe Bomb, Derek Ferrera. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up, Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday. Until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, keep it watching Ridiculously Raw right here on the Zone 25 and YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Floyo, so long, and bye, everybody, bye.